to the city championship of Roanoke, William Fleming and PH. These two could make a game of rock, paper, scissors personal. Alyssa Ray joins us with the details from this one. Alyssa.
That's right. We love a good old-fashioned rivalry, and William Fleming, Patrick Henry is a matchup of that sort that we don't have to wait until the end of the season for. Both sides of bleachers were full and many more people standing for this one. Patriots attack first. Jonte Murray hands off to Brandon Smith. He powers his way in to open up, scoring 7-0 PH. Still in the first half, Patriots punt is blocked, and the Colonels get the ball in great field position.
Lord Botetourt coach Jamie Harless was not happy. A rugged week of practice appears to be just what the doctor ordered, because the Cavs played lights out tonight in Bassett. Here we go. There's Coach Harless, always intense, regardless of the score. Lord Botetourt's quarterback, Preston Martin, keeping it for 23 yards. He's in the house, 42-0. We're in the second quarter. Botetourt again. This time, Adrian Taylor handed off to Evan Petrie. He's in from 13 yards out, 49-0.
But we head to overtime in Vinton. Terriers get the ball first, get it to the 4-yard line. That's as far as they got before settling for a field goal. But then Salem's turn. It's third down. Noah Beckley finds Riley Fox here in the air. The winning touchdown. Salem gets win one of the season, 20-17. The Spartans are simply hoping to use this as motivation moving forward. Still a lot of things to clean up on both sides of the ball for the Spartans, but nonetheless, they got a win. And for now, the worries can go away in Salem. Appy?
All right, to the high school ranks, and Northside's Carlos Boogie Basham will take his considerable defensive end skills to Wake Forest. It is official indeed in Forest. 6-star Cavalier athletes were signing. Basketball player Ashley Evans to Mary Washington. Taylor Brown will play football at Ferrum. Ben Trent, preferred walk-on to UVA. Josh Carlin to play football at Liberty. Sarah Kreider, girls soccer to Lynchburg College. And Sam Hunter to Randolph-Macon for lacrosse. At GW Danville, the Eagles' successful football program sends 4 to the next level. Tim Glass to NC State. Curtis Brooks to Cincinnati. Donald Smith to Hampton. And Malik Henderson to North Carolina Central. Meanwhile, back in Roanoke, PH star quarterback under Coach Alan Fiddler, Sean CALFEE is headed to the University of Charleston in West Virginia. Meanwhile, Lord Botetourt reached the school's first ever state final, and senior Bradley Lithgow returned from a knee injury to help lead the way. The speedster will head up the road to VMI next season. At Glenver, the Highlanders program sends 2 more to the college ranks. Quentin Alls and Zachary Deck are both headed to UVA-wise.
Grayson County's Will Lawrence in the championship match Saturday was one of a kind at the Virginia State Tournament. That's because it's from Allegheny High School in North Carolina. Will wore it in honor of his friend Justin Todd.
He's like my brother. We trained. I mean, we've done everything together. We went through blood, tears, sweat. We put in the work, and he's my hero.
Justin was Will's training partner and friend. He won the North Carolina State Wrestling title in 2014 in the same weight class as Will. Justin took his own life in November, leaving his friends and family heartbroken. But Will used his memory for motivation.
It really just refocused our training. The workouts got tougher. I missed not having Justin.
It was Justin's dad who gave Will Justin's headgear, and wearing it proudly, Will fulfilled his dream, winning the 2A 152-pound state title. The win couldn't have come on a better day.
Today would have been his 20th birthday, so it's a very emotional win for me and Will.
Murray Cook grew up right outside the walls of Kiwanis Field in Salem. He remembers walking home each day from school collecting baseballs.
Every time foul balls and home runs went over the fence, I could snag them, bring them up here, and sell them back to the guys for 25 cents. So I was making money. Sooner or later, I was making too much, so he brought me in the park to get the balls and that's when I started working in the ballpark.
That experience planted a seed that grew into a passion for maintaining baseball fields. Cook was hired as the head's groundskeeper at the age of 15 for the then Salem Pirates. From then on, he was much like a minor league player, working his way to the top.
I think where things changed is when I moved down to Florida in 1988, 89, and took care of the spring training complex for the Braves and the Expos.
Cook soon became the ballpark and field consultant for the MLB, helping in projects worldwide.
We had a chance to attend practice today. Eric Johnson has more on the Sox season opener.
The Salem Red Sox are eager to return to the field here in 2016. They boast new talent, top 3 in all of baseball to be exact, and they also have a new manager. The Red Sox welcome in lots of new faces this season. On the diamond, they have top prospects in second baseman Yoan Moncada, Rafael Devers at third, and outfielder Andrew Benintendi.
Let's go, boys and girls! Woo!
Chris Woodrum is not only one of the junior varsity captains, he's also their biggest fan.
Chris is always just, an inspiration to the entire team, and he always brings like a level of joy to the entire team. It's great practicing with him.
Chris is a motivator, a team player, and was named the Knight, the school's highest honor. He also has Down syndrome. Being a fifth-year student, Chris is ineligible to play in sanctioned games, but that doesn't stop him from being a vital part of this team.
Yeah, I still know how to get more better, stronger, and moving.
And there's no doubt he's a very vocal leader.
He just screamed at them, "Let's go, guys, we got it, let's go." And then he just stopped dabbing. He just did the dabs, he did a Superman chest.
Chris is often seen on the sidelines doing the dab, or one of his favorite cheers,
You gotta bring it in.
the roller coaster. But his biggest role on the team is a role model. Let's go! It's the day high school teams have been waiting for all year. Championship Saturday will start with Perry McClure, the defending 1A state softball champs. Tarrington Balzer got the memo, deep left, plates buzzer to take a 2-run lead, and they continued to roll. Perry McClure won in an 8-0 shutout, and they're your 1A state champs for the second straight year. Brookville tried to come back, bottom of the 7th, runners on the corners, but a Brookville strikeout will end the game. The War Hill Lions are your 3A softball champs. No, this is not an assist, but straight in, caught by the goalie, but already in the net. Blacksburg wins 6-0, the largest shutout win in a VHSL girls soccer final in any classification in 16 seasons. The win completes the three-peat and stretches their undefeated streak to 65 games. Sports Director John Apicello was in Martinsville with more.
Gibbs had 4 cars in the Final 8, but none had anything for Mr. Martinsville. Jimmy Johnson racked up his 9th victory at the historic track, and he has punched his ticket to Homestead and the Final 4.
Can't believe the way our first half of the race went, and then the way it finished up with a dominant last run. Just couldn't be more thrilled and honestly more proud of our race team.
The 48 teams tasked for the next 2 weeks make what tweaks are necessary, because it's all about Miami now and number 7. The latest and greatest from the world of NASCAR. Alyssa?
Well, Abby, you can't start the NASCAR media tour without talking about last year's winner, Kyle Busch, who broke his leg early in the season and then came back and won the Sprint Cup. Today, his team, Joe Gibbs Racing, spoke to the media about his amazing comeback.
Things just worked our way. We won 4 out of 5 weeks through the summer.
Saturday, UVA looks forward to Butler in the round of 32. This is not a team to be trifled with. They handled Texas Tech in round 1 right here in Raleigh. For now, at the NCAA tournament, I'm John Apicello, WSLS 10 Sports.
The Virginia Cavaliers are going into the Elite 8 with great momentum after an impressive win over Iowa State. They will now face a familiar opponent in Syracuse on Sunday. Virginia's Sweet 16 victory was more than just another win that came by way of their defense. Friday night, they showed that they can be aggressive and get the job done on the offensive end as well. Looking ahead to Sunday's game, they know they'll have to do exactly the same and more. Interesting to note that Syracuse has only allowed an average of 53 points per game here in the tournament, while at the other end, UVA has outscored its opponents by an average of 19 points. Tip-off is set for 6:09 here at the United Center tomorrow. In Chicago, I'm Eric Johnson, WSLS 10 Sports.
Tech led by as many as 11 points in this game before letting the Tigers come back and forcing an overtime. The Hokies, who are known for attacking the rim, got back to their brand of basketball in overtime.
We've got 4 new ACC coaches, 2 from the Commonwealth. The last time UVA and Virginia Tech had coaching changes simultaneously, the year was 1974. So we've got a pair of new coaches meshing with their programs and learning their new home state.
WSLS 10 Sports Special Football Preview. The Battle at Bristol, sponsored by Richfield Living and the Farmhouse Restaurant.
The last great Coliseum is set for perhaps the greatest battle in its illustrious history. This Saturday night at Bristol Motor Speedway, the football showdown decades in the making will be played. The University of Tennessee versus Virginia Tech on the gridiron. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I am John Appicello. It is a border war that could easily become a fixture in college football.
The Hokies' entrance Saturday will be different than any other before, but this time in front of 150,000 fans. Now, Brandon Motley did come in for Evans once he had that turnover, but we expect Evans to make the start, of course, this weekend.
Alyssa, I think Coach was sending a message. I think that message was received pretty quickly.
Right, yeah.
And I think that's part of his job,
Well,
what he has to
after
do.
you coach Paxton Lynch, I think it's probably Evans probably gets it.
Right.
The expectations are a little higher.
Right, and you want to listen to the guy.
Right.
27-24. I don't know if you remember this one. It was a last-second touchdown pass at FedEx Field. WSLS 10 Sports' Eric Johnson joins us now. And Eric, you know Coach Foster remembers that game, and I'm sure he wants to add to the defensive tradition in Blacksburg by adding this victory.
Absolutely, John. Without a doubt, he wants to add that win to the list. And with the departure of Frank Beamer, many wondered what would be the Hokies' claim to fame.
The Fighting Irish, the Hokies. This is a WSLS 10 Sports special football preview. Virginia Tech and Notre Dame's first game. History at the Golden Dome.
Why not travel to the place most synonymous with college football tradition and excellence, Notre Dame? The 7-3 Hokies still in the running for an ACC title game berth, but we put all that on hold for a week as we come to South Bend, where we shall see if their presence wakes up the echoes, cheering her name, that, of course, of old Notre Dame. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to South Bend, Indiana, and the campus of the University of Notre Dame for our 30-minute special, History at the Golden Dome, as this will be an historic weekend for the Virginia Tech football program, meeting Notre Dame for the first time ever, and of course their first ever trip to South Bend. Our own Eric Johnson found a faithful group of Notre Dame alumni in the heart of Virginia Tech country. Eric, tell us all about the Irish among us.
Well, Appy, they're a group of friends, fans, and family that all have the luck of the Irish in their hearts, and they carry on the tradition of serving others through various community service projects right here in our area.
You probably were rooting for Notre Dame. Alyssa, with Columbus, Ohio in your background, I'm guessing Ohio State fans wouldn't care to root for the Irish.
Yeah, no, growing up, we never rooted for the Irish. I went to Virginia Tech first and foremost. We'll get that out of here. But growing up, I was an Ohio State fan, as was my family. So the 2006 Fiesta Bowl against Notre Dame, I remember Brady Quinn. I remember the game. The Buckeyes won the game. But, you know, lots of memories cheering against the Irish. And I know this weekend, lots of people around here will be. But as Eric pointed out, lots of Notre Dame fans in the area, more than I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. They're a huge presence here, John. And, you know, you asked me about being a convert earlier. I must say the T-shirt, it was rather comfortable earlier. I think I may have to slip it back on. But for our sake, I'll stay in the middle and just root on for the Hokies this weekend.
Which brings us to Alyssa Ray live in Orlando, where the Hokies' path to upset victory would appear to surround the Tigers' turnover issues. Alyssa.
Yeah, Appy, we've talked about the hype surrounding Tigers quarterback Deshaun Watson. He's thrown for more than 3,600 yards and has 34 touchdowns. But what we haven't talked about is his interceptions. He's thrown 14 this season. Bud Foster's defense has been a staple for this team for years, but more pressure will be on the lunch pail as they need to take advantage of any opportunities to force a turnover.
Well, I hope we can cause a few. I mean, the bottom line is nobody has stopped them offensively.
John Appicello joins us live, and he's watched the Razorbacks practice, and Appy, they seem to fit that SEC mold big.
That's exactly right, Alyssa. When you look at them, it's hard to believe they're 7-5. They've got a 1,300-yard rusher. Their quarterback threw for 3,000 yards. And as you alluded to, they're pretty scary. His 10th win in his first year at the helm of the Hokies. Our own Alyssa Ray has more from Charlotte.
It was a tale of turnovers in two very different halves. Virginia Tech was trailing 24-0 at halftime, but took advantage of Arkansas turnovers in the second half, scoring 35 unanswered points. In year one under head coach Justin Fuente and his staff, the Hokies had their first 10-win season since 2011.
These guys have been awesome since right when they came in. They said they weren't trying to build anything new. They were just building on the tradition that Coach Beamer set, and that kind of gained our respect right away. And, you know, they've just been awesome, just working us really hard, but it's obviously paid off.
The Virginia Tech players have been saying all season that they wanted to send their seniors out the right way. And with a 35-24 victory at the Belk Bowl, I think they did just that. In Charlotte, Alyssa Ray, WSLS 10 Sports.